Former Minnesota Vikings legendary edge rusher Everson Griffen is still just like floating out there, chilling in free agency, right? The Rona shutting everything down, so he can't get in for interviews, all that stuff. So he's out there chilling. Some marginal interest with the Seahawks as well as Arizona. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But as we said all offseason long, I do think there is a very good chance that Everson Griffen returns to the Vikings, even though he posted a goodbye on Instagram, which, as we know, is legally binding. But from the Vikings' perspective, a couple reasons why they may not bring that number 97 back. So we want to dive into some of those today. Play devil's avocado. I'll look at it from the team side. So number one, cost. Like maybe Everson is still holding out to try and get $7, $8, $9, $10 million per year, which, as we've seen, can be the going rate for an older edge rusher who can still be highly productive, as we know that Everson is. You look at Cameron Wake's contract, you look at some of the other ones around there. So he may be holding out for that. Vikings, about $7-8 million in cap space right now, could make it work, but also not really in that good of a position to do that, even though you are bringing back a leader as well as a guy who could play at extremely high level still, as well as Afadio Denebo. You know about Afadio Denebo. You saw him having a mini breakout last year as a rotational piece. Can play inside, can play outside, but I think his future is on the edge. I think that he is a future starter somewhere in this league. Hopefully it's going to be here. I think he is a nice complement to Danielle Hunter. I think they'll make a nice edge rush duo. So maybe the Vikings just have pure faith in what Afadi can do. Andre Patterson, Mike Zimmer, all the defensive minds look at Afadi, but hey, you'll be the next great one. And we've seen this rung of progression with Vikings edge rushers throughout the years when you had B-Rob and Jared Allen doing their damn thing. 4th-round pick Everson Griffen coming on up, boom, replaces Jared. And then, well, Scott Crichton, not so much. But Danielle Hunter, 3rd-round pick in 2015, boom, 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 works his way up, replaces B-Rob. He gone. And now Afadi, who was a 7th-round pick, right? He comes in. Maybe he takes up the mantle for Everson Griffen. It's the circle of life. Yeah. Also, we talked about Everson, and with the defense in such flux and a lot of turnover, you would like to see just a stable veteran presence like Everson Griffen providing some leadership on this team. But maybe other young up-and-coming guys do step up. You look at Kendricks, you look at Hunter, you look at Harrison, you look at Barr, you look at even Michael Pierce coming in. Maybe some of those guys fill the power vacuum, the leadership vacuum that Everson as well as Linval Joseph leaving left for the Vikings. So that happens. It's great too. Also, you look at the other young talent where you drafted a bunch of edge rushers. You got DJ Wanham in the 4th round. You got James Lynch in the 4th round who can play some inside as well as plus then you got Kenny Willekes in the 7th. So maybe the Vikings, Andre Patterson and company, they just see it's like, Everson, we love you. We're not going to pay you $10 million per year. And also, we believe in Afadi. Plus, you look at Wanham, you look at Lynch, you look at Willekes. The cupboard ain't bare. It just really is not. But I think that leaving the door open, it's still certainly a possibility. I think as of right now, I would wager that Everson is not on a roster when training camps start, whenever that is going to be. And frankly, as a lot of veterans do, I think he's earned not having to sit through virtual OTAs, or if there is an in-person mini camp, he can sit that out. It's fine. It's like, what are you really going to teach Everson Griffen? He is a veteran. He knows what to do, especially if it comes back to the Vikings. He's played in the scheme for a number of years since 2014. So he'll be fine. He'll be perfectly fine. Even if he misses all of training camp, just shows up week 1, what's up? Let's do this, babe. Because I think that Everson, specifically coming here, I don't think that he would necessarily maintain his role that he's had throughout the number of years. Like, he may start on paper, but I think his snap count will go down. I think he'll be used situationally. I think he'll be used inside and outside, a lot like later career Brian Robinson. And, does he have to be fully in training camp? I mean, you like it, but also is it necessarily necessary? Probably not. I think what will happen, Everson won't be on a team in training camp. Everson won't be on a team to start the season. And then some squad, whether it be through alien abduction or after week 1, contracts are not fully guaranteed. So you can just not prorate. Just go week to week, go full track phone on Everson Griffen's contract. And then I think a team could bring him in. I think Everson may realize, all right, I'll just take what I can get at this point. I didn't have to go to training camp, which is great. I'll just show up. I'll play 17 to 20 snaps a game. I'll just rush the passer, and it'll be great. So that could be here. That could be somewhere else. That could be Seattle. That if they decide not to go with Clowney, that could be with the Cardinals as well. Cardinals will really benefit from bringing him along. But I think that barring alien abduction, which knock on wood, hopefully you're good to go, or even like mid-season and maybe some of the young guys are just not stepping up, Everson could easily be back. You could easily see the Vikings, if Everson's floating out there, bring him aboard for a stretch run when he's fresh and just bring it. So either way, I don't think that door closed, but as of right now, if it is closed, you can sort of understand it from the Vikings POV. So we'll see. But your thoughts, Everson Griffen not returning to the Vikings? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us up in the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.